our third interview is with the mover, which is Dan Wright, the Chief Operating Officer of Gulftainer. Welcome, Mr. Dan.
Nice to meet you, Dana.
Dan, the logistics industry has changed quite a lot in the last 2 decades at least. And from your opinion, how has technology impacted this movement of goods across the globe since the 2000s? I want you to paint a timeline for me.
It's fine. I'll start the timeline by introducing Gulftainer. So we were established in 1976. We were the first container terminal in the Middle East. We are a global supply chain and logistics solutions provider, and we're proudly headquartered in Sharjah. So we have a global portfolio of ports and terminals, ICDs, logistics cities, and intermodal hubs here in the UAE, Iraq, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the USA. And we also offer fully integrated solutions via our wholly owned subsidiary, Momentum Logistics, which forms part of our company. So from 1976 to now, a huge change, as you can imagine, right? So, and Gulftainer has heavily invested in artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things technology, and also digital platforms. Because our customers require this. This is important. And I think my two colleagues on this panel already have mentioned partner so many times. We have to partner within our industry. That's very, very critical. And we have to do it to enhance the end-to-end supply chain value proposition and harmonising the seamless flow of movement of goods around the world. Very, very critical to us. And also customers now want real-time information sharing. That's a critical point for all customers. So again, those investments in technology enable real-time tracking, increases transparency, boosting cargo security, and also improving the operational efficiencies that we have within our terminals. And again, we plan to integrate a lot more of those technologies with supply chain partners in alignment with regulatory frameworks wherever we operate, because the regulatory framework is different in different geographies for obvious reasons, and also ensuring that we're compliant with international standards. So on a timeline perspective, if you look at the last sort of 20 to 25 years, our industry has gone from a paper-based organisation to very much entrenched in that digital footprint. So we've installed ERP systems, EDI messaging to replace faxes and paper logs that were being used at the terminals. Inventory control and also tracking of movements using GPS, very, very important within a terminal. So up until this point, all the way through, especially the time that I've been with Gulftainer, you have to continuously improve and also continuously innovate. That's really, really critical. And I think as COVID was a period of time that shocked the whole world, we actually found that we had digital adoption acceleration of 10x during that period. Okay. It forced the digital acceptance and actually created more opportunity for us. So we've adopted digital twins, autonomous yard vehicles, AI-powered inspections, sustainability tracking, which has resulted in higher agility, greener operations, and readiness for fully autonomous supply chain flows.
So you said that during COVID, the adoption of technology was 10 times.
We had a 10x increase in what we were pushing through, basically.
Wow,
so we advanced a lot of the technology that we'd had on our strategic roadmap was brought forward because of COVID. And I think you'll find that a lot of industries within that period also did the same. I'm quite sure Amazon would have advanced a lot of the systems that they were wanting to put in place, and they advanced those during that period. So as much as a shock for globally, it actually allowed us to advance quite quickly.
And I asked Mr. Santosh before about what he noticed throughout, when he was in the industry, what he noticed, how technology became more efficient within his industry. I want to know, in your opinion, what recent innovations are you particularly excited about? And so far, from the timeline that you gave me, what's something that you saw and thought like, wow, this is a game changer for the industry?
Yeah, so for us, we're actually building a control tower, which, because obviously Gulftainer, we cover the whole gambit of the supply chain and logistics remit. So we have logistics, we have trucks moving, we have warehousing, we have all of that encompassed. Control Tower is going to bring all of those elements together, and it's going to link Ferro, AI-powered transport management system, TMS, with a GPS software platform, and that will also be able to monitor and enhance safety, visibility and efficiency of the fleet of our trucks that we have. That's all going to start to get linked in with the terminal operating system that we have that operates group-wide for us at our terminals. So there's a lot of elements that are going to be brought in together, because at the moment, they're standalone. Now you've got to bring them into that collective ecosystem, which is really important. And that also leads into the freight forwarding systems that we use. We use CargoWise. That's also going to be fed back into that. Now, obviously, that is working with partners to ensure that we can bring those together. So it's very important to us. Definitely.
And previously I asked for the timeline. I'm curious, because you've been in the industry for so long, and you said the past 20 to 25 years, it has changed drastically. What was the process of implementing this technology across your company's workflows, and how are you going to implement the next big technology?
You got to bring your people with you. That's a really critical part for us. Our industry is still going to be reliant on having employees that do carry out tasks. AI and all the tech is going to actually enhance what they do. It will also upskill our employees as well, which is really important. So from our perspective, whenever especially in the time that I've been with Gulftainer, which is for 13 years, we've dialed it in to ensure that we bring the workforce with you on any project that you're doing, which is going to enable those technologies to flourish that you're actually buying into. And it's very, very critical that you do that. Their input is key. And it's the same thing when we're looking to do that with Control Tower. We're making sure that those elements and those staff that are heavily involved, not just our IT team, but it's the guys on the ground, right? It's very important that they have a big involvement.
Definitely. So. And this is not really a part of my questions, I'm actually just curious about it. When you're hiring for people to join your company, are you now actively looking for people that are knowledgeable about AI, knowledgeable about how to use it, more knowledgeable of how to use innovative technologies instead of just training current staff?
Very much so. Very, very much so. As an example, so as our industry that I work in is very asset heavy. So we have big cranes, we have yard cranes. Those cranes are becoming semi-autonomous to the point where you don't have an operator inside a cabin that's on that kit. So as an example, as that equipment gets replaced, so the old style is still with an operator in the cabin, the new style is that there'll be a control room in an air-conditioned office, and it will be a man or a woman that understands the technology that will be operating not just one crane, but doing the final 3 foot of a movement on a crane in an office in air conditioned. And they'll be doing that probably over 4 or 5 cranes.
Amazing.
So, but they have to have a very good understanding of systems. So this is where we're then upskilling our employees, which is really important. Now, some geographies that's going to be difficult. We operate in the US, heavily unionized, and there's always a reluctance to start to go down that road. Mm-hmm. But again, you have to partner, especially when in our industry, with your unions as well, and to take that forwards. So
my final question is about, again, technology. I want to know, how does technology help your company remain agile? How does it help you react to this world that's constantly growing with instability, disruptions, and also, most importantly, geopolitical tensions?
That's a really good question because, from our perspective, we use the analogy that we saw a 10x increase in implementation of technology during COVID. I think we're going to see something similar, especially in the current geopolitical tensions, which really have only just happened in this last 10 days. And I think that there'll be, again, accelerated adoption of advanced technologies, especially if we start to see certain global areas become a block, which may be the case where they block together to then go back to the US that are trying to drive the opinion at the moment, should we say it. So I think actually whenever we've seen these instances, opportunity will come from it.
Definitely.
And that won't just come from the technology that's coming in, but I think there'll be new markets. Cargo flows will be affected. It's how we manage those, and it's also how we advise our customers. And again, if you can do that in an ecosystem that controls it end to end, we're there to support that and support the customers to make sure that happens. So it's to be seen, and I think everyone in this room can relate at the moment. There's a lot of balls in the air.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think we have to be ready to act.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mr. Dan.
Thank you.